We check in on early voting and we get to meet the new Town of Barnstable Assistant Harbor Master on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, October 28th, 2016. I'm Sarah Mantle.
I'm Sarah Colvin, standing here on the third floor of Barnstable Town Hall, where there has been a steady stream of early voters coming in to cast their ballots. At this time, almost 2,000 people have voted. Early voting continues Saturday at the Barnstable Police Station and right here at Town Hall all next week. Here we are on the third floor of Town Hall, the busiest place in Town Hall this week. We've had almost 2,000 people come in and cast their ballots since Monday. Town Clerk Ann Quirk, did you expect this?
Not at all. Not at all. This is a surprise. It's wonderful. It's exciting. And you have to think about this. This is landmark. I mean, this is the first time ever in Massachusetts we've done early voting. So I think it's a great idea, but I never expected this many people.
Absolutely, and obviously the message is getting out there. Again, just seeing the steady stream of people come in, excited to vote. What are you hearing from the voters?
That they're happy that they've done this. They're happy it's over. Can they turn off their TVs now and not have to listen to any more advertisements? They're all in all, they're very excited. The biggest thing we want them to know is, yes, their votes are going to be tabulated, but not until Election Day. So they all will be tabulated, just like all absentees will be tabulated, but not until Election Day.
And I think that's really important for people to know, because I have heard out in the community, it's like, ooh, who's winning? And we won't know. And I think that might, be problematic if we did know who's winning. So it'll all be on Election night. I'm sure that makes some extra work for you and your staff.
It's an enormous amount of work because these all have to be entered individually. So we will be standing by a machine and entering all the ballots in on Election Day by precinct.
So we found a voter, Chris Abdow of Marston's Mills. Chris, what made you want to come out and early vote today?
Next week, I'm not sure if I had the time to do it. So this was the opportunity I had because I work around the Cape, and this is just happened to be convenient for me to be here today.
Saturday, at the police department, I think that will be a big push. I think we'll have a lot of people. There's more space there. There's plenty of parking, and we have that whole first floor room, the training room, so that's wonderful too. So we'll have 15 booths set up just like you were going to the polling locations, and we'll have our auto mark, and we'll have lots of people helping to get you through the lines and get in and get out.
Wonderful. Well, again, that's Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the police station?
That is correct. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. Well, Ann, I know you have a lot on your mind. Thank you so much, and we are so excited to see so many civically active citizens voting, and early voting continues next week.
It does. Another week of this, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30.
Good morning, everyone. We're back with more Barnstable this morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and I'm pleased to welcome a new guest into the studio, Brian Taylor. Brian is the Assistant Harbor Master and Mooring Officer with the Marine and Environmental Affairs Division. Brian, good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and welcome to full-time employment here with the town of Barnstable. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where's your career path taken you, and how did you end up here in Barnstable?
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Sagamore Beach, and I'm a graduate from Mass Maritime Academy. And I started working for the Sandwich Marina when I was in high school. And from there, while I was at Mass Maritime Academy, I worked for the Army Corps of Engineers on the patrol boats. And then I came to work for the town as a seasonal employee in the marina field. I did marina maintenance for the marina program for about 4 years until I got the full-time position as mooring officer.
Great. So, what did marina maintenance, what does that entail? Is that more
so marina maintenance is like the jack of all trades. You do everything, whether it's working on the docks, assisting people on the docks, being a deckhand. Sometimes you're just fix various things going in different marinas. I transferred money around. things like that.
Great.
Anything that comes up basically is marina maintenance.
So whatever anybody needed you for, you were there to do it.
That's
but
right.
You've been out working on the water for 15 years, obviously like working in that kind of a marine
I do.
environment.
I'm very passionate about this. I've always wanted to do this.
Wonderful. What's your favorite part about working out on the water?
Driving a boat?
Can't beat that, right?
That's right.
It's a fun thing. So let's talk a little bit about what the public needs to know. So we are in the time of year where the dinghy regulation that was put in place a few years ago is being enforced. So tell me a little bit about what people need to think about if they've got dinghies stored by the ways to water.
Okay, well, if people have dinghies out there, which many of them still do, they need to be removed by November 15th. On all town ways of water, and that's pretty important here. That way, you know, the areas can be free from the dinghies, and we can start, you know, really focusing on the winter coming.
Absolutely. And what happens if folks are to leave their dinghies beyond November 15th?
So if folks are to leave their dinghies beyond November 15th, we would come in and take the dinghy. We basically hold the dinghy. And then we go from there and try to contact them if we can. If not, we're going to hold the dinghy for a certain amount of time, and then we'll have to do what we have to do with it.
Absolutely, which
Yeah.
is usually dispose of it.
That's
via
correct.
auction.
That's correct.
So if people have a hardship, if they can't get to their dinghy, is there a way they can contact you and say, hey, you know, we're
Yes,
going to be a few
they can
days
call the
behind?
Harbor Master office at 508-790-6273 and let us know. If they have a hardship, definitely contact us and let us know.
Great. And I feel like it was just spring, and I was just talking with your predecessor about putting all of the aids to navigation in, and now we're on
talking about
the
taking them
sadder
out.
side, taking them out. So tell me a little bit about what this entails, how long it takes, and why the aids are taken out during the winter time.
It takes a few weeks, and aids and navigation will start getting taken out within the next few weeks. The most critical ones will be last, but we'll start taking out the signs and stuff like that. It's important because, one, we don't want them to break off and lose them. We have to do maintenance on them, and not as many people are out on the water then, so that gives us a chance to do that.
Sure. And so that's all. And and are all of the aids taken out? All of the channel markers, buoys, etc. Are there some that remain?
The Coast Guard is in charge of some, but the ones that we are in charge of, we will be taking out, yes.
Indeed. And another thing, this is the hard time of year because I like it when we're opening things and now we're closing things. So all the town's marinas are closing on November 1st.
Yes, town's marinas will be closing by the 1st. Derek is our marina manager. If you need to keep the slip holders need to keep their vessel in, their transient, please contact our office. You need to have prior authorization from Derek in order to do that.
Absolutely. So,
Or Dan as well.
Great. So you must take all your boats out because they're going to start removing the docks as well.
That's correct. So just a reminder, I wanted to remind people about the Katuitt Down dock. All the vessels need to be removed from there by the 15th because we're going to be removing the floats. We will be removing the docks in Barnstable Harbor and Gateway this year for a dredging project. So.
Great. So dredging coming up. And then, of course, life jackets. The water is getting colder, but people are still out there on their boats, and it's always good to remind people to wear their life jackets.
That's correct. From September 15th to May 15th of next year, 2017, if you're on a canoe or kayak, you need to have a Coast Guard approved life jacket on. It is cold. The water is cold. Hypothermia kicks right in, so you need to make sure you have a life jacket on.
Absolutely. And speaking of that cold weather, are there any safety tips, anything people need to keep in mind as they're boating this time of year?
Okay, well, the ferries are obviously still running as well as the commercial vessels, so everyone needs to be aware of that. It's not as busy in the winter, but there's still traffic out there, so just be aware of that.
Absolutely, and just have a plan and have your life jackets approved. Now, I know that, life jackets are not the life jackets that we had growing up as kids. There's all sorts of different, even there's ones that kind of go on a belt that you can wear that blow up. Are those okay as well, or is just as long as they're
As
Coast Guard
long as it's
approved?
Coast Guard approved, yes.
Great. So if people have any questions about any of this, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you or get in touch with Marine and Environmental Affairs?
You can go online and check out the Harbor Master Department. You can email me at in the moorings department. There's a moorings tab. You can email me there, or you can call the Harbor Master Department at 508-790-6273, and you can always ask us a question there.
Great. Well, Brian, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I wish everyone a happy and safe holiday. That's about it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Brian, and we appreciate you coming in, and we'll have you on again for sure. We'll have to go out in the water sometime when it's a little nicer out.
Thank you very much.
Great. Brian Taylor, of course, is the Assistant Harbor Master and Mooring Officer here with the town of Barnstable. I'm Sarah Colvin.